So what adds value on a rental property? Specifically, how do you get more rent each month? And today I'm here with our rental specialist, Ben.
Hi.
We're going to ask him some questions. So, Ben, what adds value to a rental property?
There's a lot of things that can add value to a rental property, and there's some things that don't add value that people think add value.
Yeah.
I wanted to go through some of the more physical and obvious things that add value. One of the things that always adds value is parking spaces. They're not great ROI-wise.
Yeah, if you're buying a condo, you know, it's 50 grand for a parking space you rent for 100 or 150 isn't good ROI. But
yeah, but if you already have one available, they can add anywhere in value between $100 to $250 a month, depending on where you are in the city and how exclusive parking is.
it makes
in
it
that
more
area.
rentable. So what about appliances?
Yeah, so certain appliances are obviously going to be expected in a rental, your fridge, your stove, but there's also some appliances that aren't necessarily expected, but they add a lot of value. Laundry machines, washer, dryer. I can typically see those adding about $100 per month in extra rent, especially if there's not a laundromat anywhere nearby.
But do you also think it makes it just way more rentable?
It definitely does make it way more rentable.
That's probably more important.
Yeah, it adds a certain quality of life, and you're going to get higher quality of tenants. On the same note with appliances, certain finishes are nice to see, especially if you're trying to go for a higher end or more luxury place. Our typical recommendation would be to get something that's going to look nice, last a few years at least. You're going to have to replace it.
So I would say, like, if you're building a place, get the lowest, the least expensive thing that looks nice. Because listen, they're all gonna break. So buy, stainless steel, fridge, stove, whatever, the cheapest one you can get, and get a warranty because it's gonna break. So Ben, what do you think about like finishes? So I know, for example, when we do our rentals, we put in decent countertops. Again, not top of the line, but a nice-ish stone countertop.
You probably won't get any specific dollar value return for having the nicest of the nice. You're not going to get any extra money for having granite countertops, for example.
Yeah.
But like you say, the cheapest of the nice is really where you want to be, because things will get damaged eventually, but you also want to give your tenants a nicer quality of life, like we're kind of talking about before. It's going to look better for pictures. It's going to look better when people come to visit the place, and people are going to want to move in.
So you'll get a better tenant, basically.
Yeah.
Which is probably more important than the dollar figure alone. And what about air conditioning? Like that, that comes up a lot too.
It does. You'd be surprised. That's a lot of people's first question, especially with the recent hot summers. Whether you have central AC or even just a window unit, those are really strong selling points in this day and age. And beyond that, if the tenant has control of the HVAC system themselves.
Do I have control of my own heat and cooling?
Yeah, it's a really common question, and it's a big thing that I see that turns tenants off of a place if they don't have control of it.
Yeah.
So if you're going through a remodel and you have the ability to add that control in, I'd say that's really key.
What about outdoor space? Is that important?
Yeah, outdoor space is very important these days. Post-pandemic world, people realized how much they value their time outside. It can add a lot of value, whether it's just a deck or backyard access. It can really also show much better, so you're again going to get better tenants coming through and better applicants coming through because people are going to really value that space. If you have the grass or AstroTurf in your backyard, those features are becoming a lot more popular, especially as people got more pets in the city.
So more importantly, what are the things that sometimes you see landlords putting into their units that maybe don't actually add any value?
Yeah, that's a really good question. One thing I see often people think adds value is furnishing a place. This rarely adds value and can even take away because people have their own furniture typically and they want to make a place their own. The one caveat with that one being is that students or new immigrants will appreciate a furnished place.
Or if you're going to short term.
Yeah.
I think of it like it's not that people don't want furniture, it's just there's a lot less people that want furniture.
That's true. You're going to limit your market essentially. A lot of people will add different design features, that purple wall or the funny bathroom that's open concept. But Not everyone likes your design choices.
If you're a designer, maybe. You know, I've seen nice ones.
Kind of just want to stick to those standard features, especially if you're designing a place for renting.
Yeah. Simply white. White is your friend. What about lighting fixtures? Like, you can really spend a lot of money. I know I just did a reno. You can spend a lot of money on lighting fixtures. I would say don't. But what do you think?
It's like we said before with finishings, that kind of stuff, is don't spend a lot of money. You can get things that look nice for a pretty reasonable budget, and you don't need to go beyond that because, again, everyone has their own style choices, and so as long as you're getting the basic tasteful features, that's really the best that you can do.
And if you're building a place, I'd say LEDs, right? Because LEDs last forever. They're super inexpensive to run. For our investment properties, one of the things, I always hypothesize, and I think I've noticed is the size and number of bathrooms doesn't seem to really matter. As long as you have like a decent bathroom with a decent shower and all that kind of stuff. What do you think?
I see so many places where they add a second unnecessary bathroom in what's only a 2-bedroom unit.
Right.
And that second bathroom could be used to make a closet that doesn't exist, for example.
Or a real office,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And oftentimes that second bathroom space is wasted and could have been used for something else. Really, extra bathrooms don't add too much value.
But from a resale perspective, they actually do. So just be careful. Let's talk before you decide on your bathroom choices.
So I see so many places out here that are either overpriced or underpriced because they don't know what they have.
Right.
Or they're looking at their neighbors that have way more things in their unit.
Right.
And they're trying to set the comparable. Just because it's a 2-bedroom doesn't mean it's the same as another 2-bedroom on the block. There's a lot of differences that can add several $100s of value to a rental. And it's really important that you get an expert to come through and kind of help you look at this type of stuff.
As you know, we help a lot of people find, renovate, and build rentals. We do the renting side as well. So listen, it's really important that you maximize your rent, not just for income, but also because that's how your property will be priced when you go to sell it. It's all on multiples of rent. So that's why it's so important. And that's why it's important that you spend your dollars effectively, right? And that's what we're here to help you do, is make sure that the things you're buying, the things you're doing to this property are going to give you the maximum rent without overspending.
We hope you found this hugely helpful. If you did, please leave a like, a comment, or subscribe to the channel to let us know to make more content like this. If you have any questions, please reach out to us at info@thinkto.ca. We'll talk soon.